In this video, I'm going to talk about driver training and doing audits of thousands of motor carriers and even our clients and things like that. We think that driver training is watching a safety video or watching a few safety videos during the onboarding process, and that is just not an effective program for safety to do driver training. So you really have got to work on the hard stuff in safety to make sure that you have a good training program. So when you bring a new driver on board, you've got to have an onboarding training program. That is not sitting in a room watching 8 hours of training videos, because all the driver is going to do is get through that as painfully as possible. Because I see them, they'll be in a training room and they got their head like this and they're not really paying attention to the training. So that is an ineffective way of training your drivers to do what they need to do. During the onboarding process, let's say you have an electronic logging device. You need to teach your drivers how to use the device. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time on, okay, I'm going to teach you the 11-hour, 14-hour, 70-hour rules. I'm going to teach you the 30-minute break and teach you this and all that. You're going to do that. But where most of the hours of service problems happen is the driver does not do a good job with handling the ELD. They don't log in and out of it right. They don't know how to certify their logs. They don't know how to transfer the logs to the DOT officer. They don't know how to take exceptions like adverse conditions and personal conveyance. They don't understand the split sleeper berth. They don't know how to recap hours and all that. You've got to do your training during the onboarding of how to use your electronic logging device. That's the secret there. The electronic logging device will tell them what their hours are. It says it right there on the front of the screen on what the hours are. It's the secret to keeping your hours of service score low is training them on how to use the electronic logging device. So the way that I always do this training is out in the truck. Put the driver in the seat with their seatbelt, close the door. You're going to act like the DOT guy. You're going to do a mock DOT roadside, open the door, and you're going to talk to the driver and say, hand me your license and medical card. Okay, got that. Show me the tractor binder. Got that. Show me the cab card registration. Yep, got that. Here's the annual inspection. Got that. Here's the insurance card. Got that. Here's the IFTA. Here's my permits. Show me the ELD manual. Should be in the tractor binder. Show me the DOT instructions. Should be in the tractor binder. Show me the ELD malfunction instructions. Should be in the tractor binder. Show me a blank logbook in the tractor binder. Show me how to take the ELD off the mount and hand it to me. We get a lot of violations on that. Show me that you can log in and log out of the ELD. Show me where to transfer the logs. Show me the actual steps of transferring the logs. Tell them that the DOT officer is going to ask them to put in a code or an email, and then ask them the date range that they want, which is the last 8 days of logs, and show me all that. Same thing with pre-trip inspection. You can show your driver a pre-trip inspection video. Not going to get great results out of it because they're just watching the video. They're not getting that. Back to the mock DOT audit. You've done the hours of service part and the tractor binder part. Now get out of the tractor and show me a pre-trip inspection. First thing they should do, turn on the pre-trip inspection light switch on the dash of the truck that illuminates all the lights. Get out of the tractor. Show me where the fire extinguisher is. Should be secure, charged, clean. Where are the reflectors? In the box, right next to that. Okay, go from there. Show me the fuel cap. Is it secure? Yep. Check the tires. Are they really checking the tires? They can tell that there's air in them. Are there any defects to the tire? Are they looking on the inside of the tire, in between the tires? Are they looking at the inside tires and all that? Go around to the back. Show me the lights. Show me the flaps. Do we have any tears in the flaps? Do we have any red and silver tape that is messed up? Is the fifth wheel in good condition? Are the hoses in good condition? Go around the tractor, check the other tires, go up to the other side. Actually showing them how to do it. And the secret to pre-trip inspections is making sure they do it the same way every single time. So just following around, and then I'd like for you to lift the hood. Here's the problems with the hood. You can lift it. You can get work comp claims if they don't lift it properly. If they try to lift it from the side instead of from the front, you got to tell them, don't lift it from the side. That's not a good, safe way of doing that. Putting the hood down. A lot of the hoods have a locking mechanism. That's what, $400, $500, $600 to replace one of those. So they jam the hood back down. Show them how to undo the locking mechanism on the hood to release it to put it back down. Showing them how to check the fluids. Showing them how to check the frame and the tie rods and the inside of the tire and things like that. Checking the hubs and the little chrome fixtures we have on the hubs. One of those flies off and goes through a windshield, you got a fatality accident right there. But actually showing them how to do it. Video training is great to go through certain things, but it's doing this during the onboarding process and making sure the driver's doing it. So during that onboarding process, you could show them how you want it done, sort of how I just explained it, and then just stop. Okay, put the driver back in the seat, put your seatbelt on, get out. Show me a pre-trip inspection and have them talk you through it on all that. I mean, we get into this false, I don't know, just this false thing that these drivers know pre-trip inspections. They went to CDL school, they know it. And a lot of them just don't do a good job at it. And they just need to know how to do that properly and make sure that they do the things that they need to do properly on that. Then on the onboarding process, if you have the dash camera in there, they're back in the seat. Could be in the very first part of how I'm talking about the onboarding process. Just say, driver, I'm just going to let you know if you cover that camera, you knock that camera off, you put your hat over it, you put a smudge on it, you put tape on it, you put anything on that camera, I'm going to terminate you. That's how serious we are on that. And making sure that they understand those type of things from day one and that you got a verbal acknowledgement. Yes, yes, sir, I understand if I do anything to that camera that I'm most likely going to get terminated from that. But doing those type of things on your training during the onboarding is you've solved your unsafe driving basic score problem. You've solved your vehicle maintenance problem. You've solved your hours of service problem. Just being in the truck talking about that kind of stuff. Doing your training in the office on the ELD, on navigating the ELD. I don't need them to know every single thing in the ELD, but I do need you to set up the training that says, training item 1, logging in, logging out. Training number 2, certifying your logs. Training number 3, putting in trailer numbers. Training number 4, putting in the shipment numbers. Training number 5, how to get to adverse conditions. Training number 6, get to personal conveyance. And training number 7, what to do in a case of an ELD malfunction. That's really it. These ELD manuals have 100 pages. You don't have to teach them all 100 pages. Just teach them how to use the ELD and you'll solve your problem. Okay, so that's onboarding. Quit using these video libraries. Some of them are okay to do it, but that is not the way to get your onboarding done, is you've got to get with the tractor and get this stuff done correctly. All right. Then there's monthly training. I get with motor carriers all the time on monthly training, and it's, okay, so this month we're going to give all the drivers a video on nighttime driving. Okay. Well, what is the problems that you're having as an organization? Are you having an hours of service problem? Are you having a vehicle maintenance problem? Are you having an unsafe driving problem? Are you having a driver fitness problem? That's what you should be focused on. Yes, it's good to give a video on nighttime driving because it does have its own hazards that you need to address, but it's not the most effective way to improve your safety program. You may have, let's say you had 20 drivers. You may have 5 drivers that take one video because they're having hours of service problems. You may have another 5 drivers that are having a vehicle maintenance problem, so you do that training. You may have another 5 drivers that have a speeding problem. You deal with those 5 drivers. You see, that is a lot more effective than just saying, okay, everybody's doing nighttime driving this month, because you really didn't do anything other than force the driver to watch a video and answer 4 quiz questions, and you didn't do anything to solve the problems with your company. I know that's a lot more in training than what you're accustomed to, because we just like to tell our insurance company that says, yes, we do monthly training and all that. But at the end of the day, what's going on with the underwriter at the insurance company is going, well, that's great. You say you got a safety program and you got monthly training, but your basic scores are not going down, or your accident frequency is not going down. That's what's going on behind the scenes, is they're just going, well, you're not fixing the problem. So on your monthly training, try to get it dialed into what the driver is dealing with, not just one training video for everyone, because it just does not work. Then you're pulling information from your dash camera and your electronic logging device. Then you need to do regular daily coaching of whatever the driver behavior is. So if you get from the dash camera that your driver doesn't wear their seatbelt, then you got to coach the driver about wearing their seatbelt. Again, on any driver behavior, the way that you figure out the training and the problem is to ask the why question. Driver, why will you not wear your seatbelt? Listen to the answer. If the answer is, I've been driving 25 years, I'm never wearing my seatbelt. Okay, that's all I need to know, driver. Go work somewhere else. Can't work here. Or it's, I really struggle with the seatbelt because the seatbelt binds me and all that. Oh, well, maybe we need a seatbelt extension. Or it really cuts my neck here and bothers me. Oh, maybe we need to get one of those fluffy little cushions to put on the seatbelt. Or we need to have the maintenance folks adjust the seatbelt. If you ask the why question, then you can figure out what the solution is. Again, watching a video about the importance of wearing seatbelts is not going to solve the problem because you don't know the why. And that's what you need to do throughout the month on coaching your drivers, is making sure you understand what is going on with your drivers, identify the problems, ask the why questions, and then come up with the solution for your driver to solve the problem. That's the monthly coaching. Then you have the driver that keeps having problems. They keep having speeding incidents, and then you got to do curative training. A lot of motor carriers will just assign a video on curative training. That's fine, but you're not going to get any results out of that. The way that I do it in our operations is we put it in the PDF document, where we use like a DocuSign program. The video link is in the PDF document. So it'd be a paragraph at the top that states the policy. The policy is that all drivers must wear their seatbelt, period. Then there's a short video in that document that the driver watches. Then the paragraph under the video would be, I understand that if I don't wear my seatbelt, this will result in disciplinary actions and I could be terminated from this company. And then you have the driver sign and date that. You see the difference from watching a video and taking a quiz to something like that to go, driver, I'm serious about this. You got to wear your seatbelt. That's all there is to it. That is the difference in curative training, is making sure that, okay, I've seen the driver have 2 or 3 incidents of not wearing their seatbelt on the camera or speeding or whatever it is. I deliver the curative training like this, and therefore I know that the driver knows that I mean business. Then there's the final piece. Okay, the driver is still not getting it. We did the onboarding, we're doing the monthly training, we're doing the coaching, we're doing the curative training. You've got to make a business decision. And it's a hard business decision, because I get into a lot of discussions with owners and safety folks that said, that driver's my best earner. that driver is going to cause you to either lose your insurance, lose your company, or pay a lot more money in those things. That's what you have to understand in the business decision. If you can't get the driver to correct their driver behavior to safe behavior, the driver has to go. The number one problem I see with motor carriers that get themselves in trouble, they destroy their basic scores, they destroy their crash indicator basic, they destroy their insurance relationship, is they leave a driver on the books that is a good earner, but an unsafe driver. I'm sorry, that's the truth, and that's what happens. So when you get through all of the training I'm talking about and you get to the driver that is not going to fix whatever it is, you got to get rid of them. Finally, on that is what I tell my motor carriers when I'm working with them. You have to always be recruiting. Always, always, always. You need 2, 3, 4 drivers in the batter's box, knowing that 80% of your drivers are good, 20% you're always having to deal with. You're going to that turnover rate is in that bottom 20%. So you need 2, 3, 4 drivers in the batter's box, and you need your recruiters to be telling them to say, look, driver, I looked at your information. I really think that you're a good fit for this company. I just don't have an open seat, but we have open seats that come all the time. Is it okay that I keep you on our short list here and I call you back and I get you on board? You've got to have that procedure in your company or you're not going to survive. It's just the facts. It's 20% of the drivers are going to be problematic and they're not going to do a good job for you in safety, and you got to get them out of your company as quick as possible. That's where I see the problems is companies just leave them on the books too long and then they destroy your basic scores and your insurance renewals and everything else. And then you get in that insurance renewal and, well, I fired that driver. Well, you fired them a year too late. They're the ones that caused all the problems. And as you look at your own basic scores and your own safety metrics, you know what I'm talking about. Well, as I'm talking to you right now, you're sitting there going, oh, yeah, I got that one driver that he's my go-to guy. He just keeps having problem after problem. That driver's got to go. You got to make that driver go today. And with doing this type of training versus no onboarding process and just using standard videos to do your training, if you'll do the process I talked about in this video, you will have much better safety results by doing this. So I hope this helps. Y'all be safe out there.